Rage Club is a whole field, is a whole area for research and training to empower you to use your conscious anger as a resource and to discern it from your unconscious anger and your emotions. Especially as women, I'll say we because I think I haven't met a single woman where that was fundamentally to the core, to the root different. As women, we have learned growing up that it's important to be nice and it's important not to get too angry, at least. So that means that we have learned really great strategies and very subtle strategies and very skillful strategies to not show our anger. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you know about that? How have you learned to suppress your anger or to not show it? Just shout it out. So we're sitting in a circle.
I'll go to calm it down.
Okay, so you blow it out to calm it
Blow
down.
it out. Yeah. Or walk away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Being a good girl.
I'll mix my anger with my sadness often.
Okay, there was just an overlay. You mix your anger with your sadness, and Fiona, I heard you say you be the good girl or something. You good person.
Good girl. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you do that? How are we the good girls? How does it go for each one of us? So for me, it's smiling or being reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to smile a lot. And
nod.
like being passive.
And nodding, yeah. Being aggressive?
Passive.
Passive, okay.
Yeah, so like I smile and I listen, and even though if my anger is building up, I'll stay quiet and I'll listen. So this is my tendency. And not say anything, just nod and walk away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this enduring. I know that also enduring and listening longer than actually I'm getting bored, and that's a low intensity of anger. An anger that's like, okay, this is the end of where I want to put my attention here, and then staying there anyway. It's really detrimental to my spaces. It's eating up my space. How is it for throw in some more? I'm sure you have some experiences that help us warm up this space.
Mine be like tidying up really lots, or I noticed that doing physical activity is like a really okay way to deal with a lot of anger energy in my body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been spending time in the garden. It's really helping me today. I've been having to move things and tidy and clean, but I've been needing to balance it with being in the garden and planting things and being productive.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
I also like the anger that I don't express with most people. I would go home and then it comes out with the people that are closest to me, such as my son or my partner.
How does that go? So you've carried it around and then?
And then I get hooked really easily with something my son does, like something, a tiny thing that's annoying. Mm-hmm. And then the anger is so much higher than what it would usually be because I have accumulated during the day.
Yes, I
I'm
know
like
that
impatient
too.
and snappy.
Snapping. And I've I've noticed, like, if I carry around suppressed anger as well as sadness, but let's focus on anger, and then I bump into something, then all of a sudden I explode at that moment where I hurt myself a little bit and go like, fucking shit, and really screaming it out.
Yes,
That's
I
like the
have this
valve.
too.
Yeah, it's like the valve. Okay, here's finally. Yeah.
Yeah. And inside of me, like, it's not okay for me. Like, I have to be good with my anger. I can't be direct with it. And so inside of me, I notice I have, when I'm feeling angry, lots of like conversations in my mind of what I could say or should have said, or like imagining conversations that I want to have with people.
I do the same. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That shows another way that women especially use anger as inwards, is criticizing, self-doubting. So all the things that you didn't say and then doubting yourself and say, oh, I should have, and beating yourself up for not doing what you should have done or not saying what you should have said. So the beating up is an anger directed inwards. So that's what, like, that gives a great sort of first imprint, or shows a map of unconscious anger in women and in us for here. And there's a good reason why we've done that. We talked about it before. There's a good or an understandable or like, we're not stupid, right? We're all bright, intelligent, alive women. We have a body and we have anger. So there's some reason that we decided, oh, I better be quiet. I better do all these other things instead of using my anger to say what I want, to say, stop, I've had enough of this conversation, or yes, this is what I want. No, this is what I don't want. And those reasons or these perspectives is what creates a map of the territory of anger that we've learned. So anger is, first of all, it's a territory, but we've learned something about it growing up from even watching our parents, watching our siblings, watching the teachers, watching the other kids in school. As kids, we learned not through what we were told, but we probably weren't even told about anger, from what we saw. And that created in us this perspective, this map of the territory of anger. What is anger? So let's collect. What did you learn about anger? Throw it into the space. What are some things that you...
Anger is crazy.
Yeah, anger is crazy. Anger is aggressive.
Yeah, like this madness.
Go.
Yeah, like a madness to it, like an uncontrollableness, a dangerousness.
It's too much and unconsiderate.
Yeah, and Fiona, you were nodding. Something that you relate to.
Like it makes you to the point where you want to do something that breaks you away from it, or breaks you out of it, or shifts that, like yes, I always think there has to be some somatic, like, end result to it.
Can you say that again? So you had to be what with it? What did you have to do with it?
I just took my speaker off.
Yeah.
Somatic. There's always some kind of somatic, like, end result to it. Sometimes, like, there's been times where I've been to the point where it's been so like wanting to let my rage out in such an uncontrollable way, and just actually have, like, being in such a red state that you can't, like, I couldn't, and I, like, having to really struggle and pull myself out of that, and wanting to hurt someone.
Yeah, and smashing things maybe. When yeah, I mean, that's what happens when we're suppressing the anger. And why, and I'm still interested in why we're suppressing it. Why in the first place would you suppress it? So you probably have reacted like that as a child sometime, and then you had to deal with the consequences. So I remember what did you learn about it? What did you...
I guess personally for me, I have held in my rage and anger for a very long time. time as a child, was suppressed and tormented for a very long time and bullied, and didn't matter how much I expressed what was happening to me, no one heard me or really fully understood it. So held it in for like far too bloody long, and like, so now when rage comes up, it's just really, it's full on. And I just, yeah, it's really just, it's massive, it's huge, and I want to like let it out.
Great, I feel glad about that. Because we are designed for 100% anger. As human beings in an adult body, in a grown body, we are designed for 100% anger. It's not a design error. And it serves a purpose, which opens up the door to an entirely new perspective on anger, or a different perspective on anger. And that is a new map of the same territory. It's the same territory with a new perspective. And that opens up more possibility of what can you do with it? How can it serve you in your everyday life? And there's what you're describing is like sitting on so much anger. When you go to 100% of anger, you actually stellate it. That means you own it. You learn that you learn that you're bigger than your anger. You have this visceral, physical, energetic, emotional experience that you are bigger than your anger. And then it becomes a resource. It becomes like this stream of energy that is available to you for conscious purposes. And before people haven't done that, or before people have had training to do that, what happens is that the old map is active, the old perspective on anger, where it's not okay to be angry. That's the main assumption. Because if I'm angry, I'm too loud, I'm too aggressive, anger is destructive. I mean, how have you seen your parents act in anger? How have you seen your mother act in anger? Have you seen it at all? You haven't
I
seen
have.
it? Yeah. Share with us. Let's go around and let's go around. Rita, what have you experienced?
My parents in anger.
Yeah.
They would shout at each other, like they would fight a lot, very often, all the time. So yeah, they and like the shouting, and then the way they just spoke to each other day to day has always been aggressive. So it's like this unconscious anger. And it still is. This is how they speak to each other.
Aggressive. So that's not something you want to copy. Like, doesn't sound like that was an environment where like, yeah, let's get angry. Okay, how about you, Fiona? What did you see from your parents, or especially your mother? I'm interested in also especially the mother.
My mother, not so much. She's very gentle and kind and loving and supportive. I don't ever really remember her being angry. My father definitely had more anger and would hit me. I would seem to be the one that always ended up being the one that got in trouble for whatever it was going on with the siblings, like, because I don't know why, but I realized recently that I actually got to a point where I managed to start being faster than him and getting away from him, and that was, that was a really good moment.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's not really inviting you to be angry, and then looks like your mother also wasn't a role model to use anger constructively, to stand her ground, to make boundaries for your father, to take a stand for you, that he wouldn't hit you. Yeah, all this stuff is yeah. Thank you. How about you, Millicent? What did you notice?
And anger being role model to me for my mum was that it's just really scary, like really unpredictable, and like I think that's the biggest word for it, is like unpredictable and dangerous.
Unpredictable and dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, similar as my experience with my mother. She would get angry and in these outbursts of anger, really loud and also, yeah, I think my father did the same. I just didn't know it at the time because I thought they were arguing, and then the door would get slammed and the glass in the door would shatter. And I used to think it was my mother, but it turned out only recently that that was my father slamming the door. So this quiet man always putting it down and then exploding and destroying stuff. And also with my siblings, I remember my younger sister being so angry at me that she threw a cup at me. It was really dangerous when someone gets so angry that they throw stuff at you. And that's nothing where I would think like, oh, I want to be angry. And yet there was a part of me as a child already where I was like, fuck, I'm so angry. I need an outlet for my anger. I want to fight. Did you have anything like that? Do you have anything where you're like, I wish I had a place where I could be angry?
Yeah, I was angry very often as a child. Like I would have these tantrums, like on the floor, screaming. And yeah, I would be teased when I did that. I remember sometimes my mother like laying next to me, like copying me, like teasing me. And then it was like, I felt like so ridiculized that, yeah, I would feel really ashamed and stopped. And yeah, I often had this and like this, I remember as a child having this like flipping, like losing control of myself, feeling so angry that I needed to like, and I would like want to bite my sister or like hit my sisters.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, there was like this flipping thing in me with the anger.
Yeah, now I remember now that I would bite people at preschool, and I got like asked to leave for preschool because I was biting people. And I remember this feeling in my body really young. And I remember also at school like telling my mum that I just wanted to put this girl on the floor. Like I was so angry. And yeah, I have had that. And I would just get enrolled in lots of sports. This is how it went.
That's how it went. Yeah, same for me. I did judo for many years because of me wanting to fight and wanting to have anger. So let's look at
okay. Realize,
so go.
Yeah, what you said, Millicent, about the biting like other kids, and I realized like I was never angry, like I never hit anyone outside my home, and I was never angry outside my home. So like I would build up, and then at home I would hit my sisters or have these big tantrums, and I just made this connection with what I said earlier, that my tendency is to build up and then I go home and then my anger comes out at home with my son or with my partner unconsciously.
Yeah.
So I just made a link with these two.
Okay, so there's some mechanism that holds it together for you when you're outside with strangers or not your family.
Yeah, there's something still alive from my childhood that's like my anger gets only expressed at home. Yeah, and it's too dangerous outside.
Okay, cool. So that is really valuable information. Once we know what we're doing, we can start to change it. We can only change from where we are. We cannot change from where we are not. So having a clear map of your old map of anger, the perspective where you cannot be angry because it's not okay, is really important to start. And it will change. Yeah, and it looks like you have a sword, Fiona. I have one too. It's not a sword.
It's my stick.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is, yeah, great. Keep using it.
I only brought a towel.
You have a sword, Rita?
I do.
Bring it next time. Bring it. Yes, I mean, why this matters to me is because I've come to realize that the conscious anger that is not utilized by women is one of the biggest unutilized resources on this planet. That's how big it is. If every woman that has connection to Gaia, that has connection to love, that has connection to the bigger picture, if she was connected to anger, things would change really quickly on this planet. That's not saying that women are the good ones. Women have also shadows that they need to handle. And that's why conscious anger is the key, not the unconscious anger. So ways in which unconscious anger expresses, there's a lot of angry women out there that don't realize they're angry. Gossiping, talking bad about each other, tall poppy, supporting each other only to a certain limit and then stopping and cutting each other off. Allowing, manipulating their way through because they cannot say what they want. And it's sometimes really subtle. So I'm sometimes shocked to find in which ways I'm trying to manipulate spaces. So it goes so deep that there's layers and layers to uncover. But imagine that we could use that resource. So I invite you to stand up and put your feet firmly on the ground. So if you're not standing yet, or Melissa, just, put your feet firmly on the ground of your car. And make fists to start with, and just let your anger come up a little, like to 5%. 5%, there's no sound, it's just your fists are activated slightly, and you let yourself experience it in your whole body, from your fists. And yes, just allow yourself to experience it and feel what is that like in your body. When you're in the new map of anger, where anger is totally okay, it's neutral energy and information that can serve you. So increase it a little bit more, go a bit higher. Yeah, letting it come up from your feet. Yes, and you can even make yourself bigger. What could this anger serve? So let go back to 0 and just stand with the echo of that.
Already I started to get clearer of what my body needed then. I noticed, like I need a drink of water. It came really clear to me, and I'm going to do that.
Yes, go.
Yeah.
I actually need one too.
It supports me, like taking a stand for myself and speaking what I am scared to say, and like staying in integrity and committed to my path, or to like the path I want to walk, or taking the next step.
So that's like clearer on your purpose. This is where I'm going, this way.
Yeah, like taking a stand for whatever I want to take a stand in each moment.
Yes. Do you notice anything, Fiona?
Makes me feel more capable of using it for something productive than just exploding.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an energy that is for action, and it can be productive, and sometimes it's also necessary to be destructive with anger, to say this, no more, to destroy with anger, but in a conscious way. It's not this burst of killing every life on the planet. It's more like a sharp no, not here, not this, and yes, this is what I'm doing. For me, also more clarity in me, and standing taller. It's like I have more space. I take more space.
Hmm.
Like, okay, here I am. And then there comes for me also this a subtle joy of, wow, yeah, I'm alive. This, whoa, this is cool. Do you notice that at all?
Yeah.
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 I noticed like more flow through me, more flow of energy through. Yeah. Joy.
And it really supports like my level of presence and like activating myself, awakening myself and being present.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I've noticed also in spaces when I'm starting to fall asleep, and that I'm in a bigger group, someone else is holding the space or is talking, and I can notice that I'm sort of falling asleep slightly, like getting bored, thinking about other things. And that is the moment where I've learned that in this moment I could get more, like I could ask myself, what am I actually angry about? Oh, I'm angry that this person is talking so much. I could actually interrupt and say, hey, what are you really trying to say? Or is something that my anger has that I don't know of because I'm not allowing myself to feel it. And instead of going out, I could actually go in and say what I have to say. And then I'm awake again and I'm part of the conversation and I'm creating what I need to create. So that's also a quality of the anger.
Yeah, I really get this image of having that amount of anger accessible to me is like just boom, 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 like little sparks rather than a massive bonfire. And it's so much more productive or something, or useful.
Mm-hmm. Little sparks instead of a big bonfire at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say even like to having it ongoingly a certain level of anger. And not like just going into sparks, but like to learn to have an ongoing level of anger all the time. And yeah, I found there's this part of me that is like, I just want to get home and then I can relax.
Mm-hmm.
This fantasy, or it's like it's a child behavior of like, yeah, then I go home and I'm with my partner or whatever it is, and I can like just completely like fall in and relax. And what I'm finding is like this, being an adult, this doesn't happen. Like there's always a certain level of anger there to have my sword and my clarity and to take care of my space. Because when I do this, it's like, now I can relax. Then stuff comes in my space and then I react because I didn't have enough anger present.
Mm-hmm. Fiona, my anger tells me to ask you this question of what is happening when you're leaving this space, because I can't see you and I don't know whether you still hear us. It's actually also my fear
I
information.
can still hear you, yeah. Sorry, I had to feed my dog.
Okay, so I have an experiment for you that you tell us what you're going to do. You just tell us and then you go and do it. But then we know. So I'm just going to feed my dog. I'm just going to feed the fire. I'm going to do this now. So you say what you'll do and then you do it. And then you don't have to, you can still be part of this. So it's useful for me to know that you still hear us.
Yeah, I can I'm in one room. It's
Okay.
like my house is this big.
Perfect size for a house.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Will you do this experiment? Will you tell us what you're doing next when you leave?
I will attempt to, yeah.
Do you think it's not possible?
No, I just sometimes I'm really bad at that and I just do a thing, I just act and I don't there's no forethought sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, there's an experiment then to do, and use your anger. It's like becoming conscious of the action. Yeah. Becoming conscious of what am I going to do? Oh, this is what I need to do. And then verbalizing it makes your anger more conscious, because that's what you're doing. You're using anger to go into action, and probably also other feelings like, wow, I'm scared my dog needs something. Okay. So that's how close they relate with each other. And when, yeah, I want to say also, when we work with anger, that's like the space holder quality of an energy that supports us. It's like when you open up a tab, then if you open up the anger tab, then all the other three feelings, sadness, fear, and joy, can come out too, because it's safer. It's safe for them to come out. That's why anger is the space holder. And yeah, so I noticed, for example, earlier that the joy comes for free. Yeah, I feel a little bit of anger, and immediately after, at the end of it, I feel joy. It might also be that once you allow yourself to feel angry more and more consciously, you will be able to feel your fear more. Yeah. Anything to say to that from anyone? Or to ask? Questions are welcome anytime. So make this really your space to squeeze out the juice that is available here for all of us to explore at the edge of wherever we are. Wherever you are, you might, yeah, wherever you are with your edge on anger.
I definitely have a big curiosity around anger as a space holder for my other feelings, and also for other people. I really notice that sometimes my mind goes really quickly when I'm feeling angry, and I want to say lots of things, and I'm really curious about how to do this and to use it to hold space for what I'm really feeling, and or to stay in connection around it.
Mm-hmm.
Could your anger be mixed with your fear, like when you're speeding up? Then it could be that when your anger becomes higher, your fear also becomes higher, and then you start going fast.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like
So
this fear of my anger.
So it's often a combination, is that your fear sits on top of your anger, and or your anger sits on top of your fear. So anger is a neutral energy and information. So we spoke about a few things. The energy of anger, well, we didn't actually say that, but it feels often hot to me, or it's quite fast also. It goes like this flame, like a fire energy. And the information is clarity, boundaries, having a clear yes, having a clear no, going into action, doing what needs to be done, taking a stand for something that really matters to your heart. So these are the information of anger. So when you're angry, you could ask yourself, where's my boundary here? Or what's going on that I'm angry? Anger, what information do you have for me? So to take anger as your ally. And to be able to do that, you need one important distinction, which is that you can feel angry as a feeling, or you could feel angry as an emotion. The emotion of anger is from the past. It's not from right now. So you might have been angry as a child that a kid took your toy away. And now whenever your partner wants to use something of your stuff, you get really angry that he would even dare consider. Because you're actually reacting to your siblings taking your toys away when you were little. So the emotional anger is not useful for navigating, for information about right now. It's a doorway for healing, to go into a safe space, held space, where You can express the anger to the extent that it was there at the time. And that could be even from yesterday. It doesn't have to be only childhood, but it's a past emotion. Past emotions are not for right now, they're for healing. And you can detect that by them lasting. Maybe you're pissed off about something that someone did a week ago. You're still angry about it. So that's an emotion. Or this total overreaction for a little thing that happened. That's also an indication for an emotion. And my fear tells me that we need to do some practical stuff. We've talked enough for now. And let's activate a little bit of anger energy, a little bit more than we did before. So do you have a towel handy or some sort of cloth that you can roll up into a sausage? So roll it up into a sausage. And we'll go together. I'll take the time. We'll just go for half a minute to start with. How does this go? Here. Okay, so you hold, the way it goes is you hold, just watch me first. Millicent and Rita, you already probably know how to do this, and watch anyway. But you hold your hands really close to each other so they touch each other. And then you start to ring your towel like you're wringing someone's neck, like you're really angry. And you get angry and you let the anger energy run up your arms all the way into the core of your body, into your legs, into your feet. And we're going to go first, we're going in 10% steps, but we're not going to go higher than 20%. So we're going 10%, which is about, like there's, the pressure is increasing, I'm getting hot, but there's no sound yet. My shoulders are starting to move, there's a movement and a heat, but I'm not making sound. And then for 20%, it's double that. And the sound is starting to want to come out, like a little growl. Like that. So we'll go together in these steps. I'm going back to 0 to start. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So at the count of 3, we start to go to 10%. 1, 2, 3, and go. Yeah, letting it all through your body, all the way into your feet. And go to 20%. No sound yet, just before the sound. Yeah, and the intensity is good though. Here, go a bit higher. Listen, yeah, great, go. Yeah, let the heat rise. And stop. Come back to 0. All the way down to 0, relaxing your muscles. And that energy that you notice now in your system, that belongs into your bones. Yeah, and yawning is also part of that. It's detoxing. So let that energy, instead of shaking it away, let it into your bones. You can touch your bones to let that happen. Really letting it into your bones. Yeah, this is where anger supports your structure as a space holder inside out. Is everyone okay with that amount of anger in their system?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's practice already in this introduction, clear yeses and nos. So if I ask a question, you have a yes, you say yes. Like really with this intensity, not smiling like I just said, it's like yes. Or no. So that I can really hear you. I want to feel you. I want to see who you are. So it's welcome. Your intensity is welcome. Let's try that out. Was everyone here okay with 20% anger in their system?
Yes.
Yes. Wow. Feel the energy of that in the space. Do you notice something?
Yeah, I noticed that I feel more here.
Mhm.
I use my voice.
Yeah, there's more aliveness for me. For me and for the space.
I noticed this real joy of feeling you, like, wow, there's someone home, there's someone really here. I did an anger practice with 5 and 6-year-olds last weekend. They're already capable of that, obviously. They're still really close to source. And to practice with them clear yes and no, where they shout it, just like you shout no, shouting yes was so powerful. It's like, practice that. We will practice that. I want to just hear something of you about what did you experience with the 20%? Did you notice something? How was it for you?
I enjoy it. Like I enjoy activating my anger.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the clarity, the aliveness, the presence, and like my body also, my physical body also gets more active.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah,
Anybody
it's
else?
it's a lot for my physical body to maintain. Like I have a lot of inflammation and pain on a regular basis. So like even just holding, like doing this is like hands are, quite sore all the time. So, but I also know that my pain is a result of my body holding on to a lot of that anger and rage. So, needing, like actually physically needing to let it out somehow, but also having to go through the pain that it holds in my body as well. So it's like kind of a double-edged sword for me.
Yeah. So one thing you could try out is next time when you do that and you feel the pain, use some of your intention to let the anger that is in your muscles, in that inflamed or in the joints, I don't know where the inflammation is, to let that, with some of your intention, you don't have to know how it goes, you let that go into your bones, from there into the bone that is closest to there. So it can go into the resonance tissue where it belongs. And great awareness. Thank you for telling us. It's important information. That is what happens. Suppressed feelings become emotions and they create dis-ease. They block the flow.
Yeah, I want to add, like I had a recent experience about 4 months ago. I had ear surgery, and after the ear surgery, I had like a kind of a collapse, burnout. I could not explain what was happening. I had like this physical pain, and I like just existing was painful. And I could not detect what it was from. And I found that through a process that my bones were filled with fear and also sadness, but mostly fear. And yeah, as anger belongs in the bones, I had a wrong feeling or emotion in the wrong tissue. So I took out the fear from my bones and put it in my nervous system, and my sadness in my heart and in my fluids. And then I started reactivating the anger in my bones. And it shifted, like the pain went, and this ongoing exhaustion disappeared afterwards.
Wow. Great. I feel glad that you will be holding space for EHP Dojo, Rita, alongside the Rage Club. It makes sense to have a dojo for emotional healing process, a space for emotional healing processes to happen. And I've asked whether Millicent and Rita will hold space for that. And I heard you say, yes, Rita and Millicent, we still need to finalize the logistics, but a space where this could happen, where you hold
Yeah.
space for this demeshment, this unmixing to happen. The mixing in resonance tissues where anger doesn't belong is one of the survival strategies. It's one of the numbing strategies, because you shared with us that terrible stuff would happen if you were angry as a child, or if you didn't conform. Yeah, beaten up, getting silent punishment, all sorts of things, being sent into your room, having love withdrawn for a certain time. So these are really it makes sense that you would have made yourself numb to your anger. And one way of becoming numb to it, or making the force of it go away, the power of it go away, so that it doesn't take over, is to put it where it doesn't belong. So anger often in the muscles. Anger often is stored in the muscles, and then they become really tense. Also fear in the muscles. But really, anger belongs in the bones. Fear belongs in the nervous system. Yeah, so thank you for bringing that. I want people to know about that because it's so effective. And then the next thing is to practice it, to really apply it so that it can change in your bodies. So one skill for everyday life that you can take away from today is the clarity of saying yes or no. And in order to say yes and no, you won't need more than 20% anger in general. So the high intensity anger that we're going to go to in Rage Club serves to train your muscle and to calibrate and to free the blockages and to train that anger muscle. And maybe I'll say something about the numbness, but you to be able to, like, for your everyday life, you won't need the high intensities in general. It's the low intensities, 0 to 10%, 0 to 15%, that will make a difference in your life, to be able to use that amount as a source of information and for action. So I want to practice with you that, and we'll go into breakout rooms. And in the breakout rooms, so there'll be 2 breakout rooms, or let's make 3 so that everybody is with everybody once. That should be 3, right? Yeah. So you'll have a minute each. I said 2 minutes each for feedback and coaching. So one person starts. The person starting says, we'll start with no. Really using your arm, being centered, so you will need to be standing for that. And you'll need to be centered, grounded with your personal bubble of space. We haven't done that, have we? No, we haven't.
No.
Okay. That's where we start. So that is the first position. And we're using anger for that. Anger is the 10%, up to 10% anger is enough to stay present in your body at all times. So let's do that together, and you can stay seated for that. But you can close your eyes and you just check with your attention, you check where your attention is, the center of your attention. And you might be thinking about things, so then your center of attention is your mind, in your mind. And wherever it is, bring it into your physical body now with your intention, with this clear focus and determination, into my body and into my center, my physical center, which is underneath my belly button, about 2 fingers underneath, inside my body, between the hip bones. That is the physical center. And by putting this attention there, it's like a grapefruit-sized ball of your energetic center. You leave it there, and that enables you to stay connected with your own information, with your own bodily information in all bodies. And from there, declare a grounding cord that goes like this. You click your finger and you declare an energetic cord from your center to the center of the earth, all the way into the center of Papatuanuku, of Gaia. And this is a cord that supports you. It supports your energy flow, and it goes both ways. You can receive energy and information from Gaia, and you can send excess energy there. It's like composting it. And please, at the count of 3, say the color of your grounding cord. 1, 2, 3. Green.
White.
Dark red.
And then declare a personal bubble of space around you. So you're clicking your finger again, and that is the declaration of the space that is your own energy and information. Click your space. Use that clicker for an energetic imprint into your system. And this energy is all around you, especially around your head, on the top, on the sides, your lower back, your waist, underneath your feet. It's got a membrane, so it can breathe. It's not a wall that you're building around you. It's the demarcation of where your space ends and the space outside of you starts. And it's your responsibility to hold that as big or small as you need it to be, so that you don't have to enmesh your energy and information. So that then is first position. You're centered, grounded, and in your personal bubble of space. So from there, in the exercise, you will go, one of you will go, no, going a bit forward and really using your hand to slice the space. No. And the other person will coach. Does that land in you? Does it not land in you? What could she do different so that it really hits you, that she means it? That you really, on an energetic level, get, oh, I better stop here. So let's actually, yeah, let's do 2 minutes each. 2 minutes each plus 1 minute. Mm. 3 minutes each, extending the time. 3 minutes each, and include the coaching and feedback in the exercise. So it won't be separate at the end. It's part of it. And try different words. So say no and say stop. You can also try stop. So no, stop. And then you swap.
And then we swap. 3
And then you
minutes
swap.
and then we swap.
Yeah.
So we time ourselves.
Yeah. Let's each group time yourself. And
Okay.
then after that, those 6 minutes, maybe it is a bit short. Actually, let's do, I'm changing my mind. That's also a quality of anger. 2 minutes will be enough. 2 minutes each. And then once the 2 minutes, the second round of 2 minutes are up, so each person has had her go, I will shuffle us. So you get into a new space with the next person, you practice again. So you get feedback from another person who has a different perspective. And then we shift once more. So we'll have 3 goes. Any questions? Okay.
No.
So we have 2 breakout
No.
rooms. Thank you. Let's go. Disappeared. You have the magical skill of appearing and disappearing.
I got hungry.
Okay, in Rage Club I'm asking people not to eat because it changes the space into an eating space, and it washes away the clarity of it. And I didn't announce that beforehand, so yeah, just want you to know that it changes the quality of the space. We started already, so I'm gonna do the first round so it doesn't eat up too much space.
Yep.
Will you give me feedback and coaching, whether it lands or not?
Try my best.
Yeah, okay. No. Yes. No, not yes. Stop. How does that land in you?
I mean, it could be more forceful if you're really wanting me to stop doing something.
Okay, more forceful. Stop.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Okay. Or what if I say no?
I guess for me, more short and sharp is more like there's more power involved.
Short and
Yeah.
sharp.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, what about no?
Yeah.
Does
There's a
that
lot
work?
more energy involved in it.
Okay, what about the going out? No. I'm looking at myself. That's not very useful.
The projection of the movement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely adds power.
So, and okay, cool. Thank you. Then we shift. It's your turn. I'm just going to write to the group to swap. Ask them to do their own monitoring, but okay. And then go.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Yeah, what's happening is,
No.
yeah, stay. When you say no, really mean it and stay there. Don't go away. Just stay there and let
No.
the. Yeah, do it again.
No.
Mm-hmm. Can you come
No.
Can you come from your belly more? Really, from your womb.
No.
Mm-hmm. So what? And
No.
try stop.
Stop.
How high can you go with your intensity for the stop? And using your hand. Yeah, go full out.
Stop.
Yeah, without smiling, without all that. Really, like you mean it. Like I'm gonna do something that you really don't want me to do.
Stop.
Mm-hmm. And again, you're going back quite quickly, so you could just stay there and say, "You're not fucking with me." Yeah, yeah, that works. Thank you. Try some more no's from that same with that same clarity, like no.
No.
Mm-hmm. Keep
No.
going. Yeah.
No.
And say the no like it doesn't matter whether I agree or not. It doesn't matter what I do with it. It's fucking irrelevant because it's your no.
No.
Mm-hmm. And can you stay forward a bit longer? No.
Sorry, I landed on I've been stepping forward and I hit my ankle in the wrong spot there.
Okay, don't hurt yourself. Okay. Take a
No.
moment. Yeah, take a moment to slow down and just go one more time with all your energy bundled.
No.
Cool. Thank you. I'm going to shuffle us around. You go to room 1. And Rita comes to room 2. Hello. I start.
You start.
No!
Go.
No!
So use the energy that you're using in your body movement to keep your body where you are, and use that's like as an bring your
No!
energy instead of your body. Go.
No! Stop! No!
And make it more about your own space than the other person.
Mm-hmm. Stop! Yeah, feeling some fear? Okay, still time. No! No!
Go.
No! Stop!
And you have a couple more still.
Stop! No!
Go. And let it be like more from your center instead of it coming from the top.
No! Right, center. No! Oh,
It's
some more.
time to swap.
Okay, go.
No! No! No!
Let it
No!
be. Let it be more wild. I'd like to see more wildness.
No!
Go.
No! No!
Yeah, even more.
No!
Yes.
No! No!
And now take that energy into one sharp. Go. That energy into one
No!
sharp. Yeah.
No! No! No!
Bring it from your feet now.
No!
From your
Again?
feet. Bring it from your feet now.
No! No!
And now land it downwards in the space. Like it lands right.
No!
Yeah.
No!
Put it down into the ground. The stake in the ground. No.
No! No!
Hmm.
No!
Yeah, go with some stops. Stay a bit longer, like really with this intensity. Stay with the intensity and stay forward, like at least with the hand. Leave the hand there. Leave it. Leave it there. Stay with the intensity there. Go. Yes, go. It lands. Yeah. Thank you. Go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shuffling us around. So.
No,
More anger.
no, no,
Do a bit of mouth gymnastics. Yeah, and then let the anger come from your belly and say no.
no,
Yeah, better. Keep going.
no,
Yeah, and stay with your own energy.
No.
It's about your no. Stay with your no. It's not about me. It doesn't matter what I want.
no,
More, and I would like
No.
more energy. I want to feel you. Give me more energy.
no,
More.
no, no,
Okay.
no,
Try some stops. Go with some stops.
stop,
Yeah, stay in connection.
Stop.
Stay in connection with me. Yeah. As you say stop. Go.
stop,
Yeah,
Stop.
you're closing your eyes and going downwards when you say stop. So go say stop and stay forward. Stay longer.
stop,
Yeah.
stop,
Yeah, stay with the same intensity as you say stop and stay there.
stop,
Yeah,
stop,
something happens with your energy. It goes away. Try to or go with it. Stay with it.
stop. Yeah. Stop,
Yeah, that's more. Yeah, go. More. It needs that energy. You don't have to come to me. You just
Stop.
use your hand if you can. Like really go stop and use it.
Stop.
And leave it there. With the
Stop.
same, yeah, and stay with intensity. Stop.
Stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
go.
Stop.
Okay, thank you. My turn. No,
And let go.
no, no,
And let it come from deep in you,
no,
not here. Yeah, go.
no,
And let it like erupt out, so it's not the word no, it's something else.
no.
Yeah.
Stop,
Yeah. And
stop.
keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like let it be like a full stop, like boom, land in the space.
Stop.
Yeah, go.
Stop. No.
Yeah, and yeah, try with the no as being sat and less volume and more like just a no.
No. No.
Yeah, go.
No.
Yeah, and like let your body like wheel your shoulders
No.
and go.
No. I do something with my eyebrows
And
when I get small. When I get loud, less loud, I could do something with my eyebrows. No.
oh
No.
yeah.
No. No. No.
Yeah. And go like 3 or 4 really fast and stay
No.
here.
No. No. No.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm closing the breakout rooms. See you over there. Yeah, good idea to drink. How's that? What do you notice?
Yeah, I really enjoy practicing the nose and getting coaching and noticing like the subtle things that can shift so much, but with myself and with the others.
Yeah. I noticed that I would quickly like do something with like looking for approval after I said my no or my stop. And I really like having the feedback straight away because it feels like or it just like changes it in me, like, okay, it's okay to say no, it's okay to say stop, and I can say it better as well.
Yeah, I had some really uncomfortable physical feelings, like, you know, I mean, it's like it's the first time I've done that. So for me, it's like really, it was felt very strange, but also very good to release and be in that process.
Yeah, I notice, especially in the Kiwi culture, I think in German culture, which is my birth culture, it's more common to say clear yes and no. And especially in the Kiwi culture, I noticed that people get really offended if I ask for clarity. It's like, is that a yes? They go, yeah, nah, let's maybe. It's like, is that a yes? So really trying to avoid the clarity. And you don't have to play that game. You can really, like, this is what the sword is for the, okay, I've got this wooden sword. And I see you have a stick that we could use next week as a sword. And Melissa and Rita, we could use really swords, or in the Rage Club. It represents the inner energetic sword that we have as women. Men have that too if they train it, with which I don't have to let other people's unclarity eat up my space or affect my space. For example, I've inquired a venue for in 2 weeks, and I asked, can I book the venue for then? And the reply was, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. It's not a yes. And how much energy does it use to write that versus a 3-letter word, yes? That's what we do with energy if we don't use the clarity of yes, no. And that frees up energy for other shit to get real, to really implement things that need to happen, because we're not dancing on the eggshells of maybe, don't know. And sometimes you might not know. So what do? You could get angry and then find out, what am I actually wanting? Activating anger is actually a tool to become more clear. And the clarity is not in the head, it's in the body. So it's in the physical body and the emotional body. Yeah. Yeah, we could practice some
What
more.
is some?
Go.
Yeah. Well, I have two things. One of them is I notice I find it harder to give coaching and feedback. And then my other thing, yeah, that's one thing. And my other thing is like, what is it that really stand, like, why would somebody go out of their way to be unclear when they could be clear?
Well, why do you?
Well, is probably related to like being scared of getting rejected or something. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, let's go into an exercise together, another exercise. And this time we have a bit more language, a bit more words with it. So we'll be in pairs, and we're having a conversation. So one person asks questions. Asks, for example, will you explain to me blah, blah, blah. And for the first, let's say a minute, for the first minute, you reply no, whatever the question is, and let yourself feel the fear of saying no to something that you actually would want to be saying yes to. So it's an exercise, an experiment. It's an experiment to say no regardless. Just say no because you've chosen to say no, and let yourself feel what that feels like. Because I think you're onto something, Melissa, that it's really scary to be so clear and say no. And yet the no, you might find that the no is like an icebreaker. It opens up the space for the next thing to come. You might not even know what you want instead, but by saying no, space opens up and you're like, oh, okay, I've said no to this. A person wants to do something with me and I don't know what else I want to do, but I know I don't want to do that. So I say no. And all of a sudden I have space like, wow, I might even find that I want to do something else with that person. So it's just closing that one possibility and then others come up. And in this exercise, it's the step before that. It's just finding out what is in the way for you to say no. So we do that the first minute. You say no regardless. Maybe it doesn't need anything else at that stage. And then you swap. And you just say no for no reason other than saying no. No, let's do that for now. Let's do one round of that and see how that goes. Maybe we need to adapt it a little. Gonna recreate the rooms. Okay, any questions? It's pretty straightforward. So one person asks questions and just come up with whatever question comes up. There's no right or wrong question. And the other person replies no.
No questions.
Okay. No, I need to go. Rita, will you show me how to make the hairstyle that you do?
No.
Can you please put up the blinds behind you? I want to see what's behind you.
No.
But it's not such a big deal. It's just one movement with your hand. Will you please just do it?
No.
Will you untie your hair knot?
No.
Will you tell me why you love being angry?
No.
Please stand on one leg.
No.
Do you love your son?
No.
Do you want to be famous?
No.
Did you ever consider being a trainer?
No.
And swap. I'm actually just going to write that in the group. Okay.
Can you time?
No.
But like, there's something wrong with my timer. Will you time?
No.
Do you want to have a call about the next Radically Alive? Like, I have questions about this Radically Alive event.
No.
I have some ideas. Do you want to have a call afterwards?
No.
I would like you to hold space for a courageous conversation for me. Will you hold space for that?
No.
Will you like do the whole series of this Rage Club as you committed to?
No.
Will you just shut your computer right now?
No.
Will you go to bed tonight at a time that suits you when you're tired?
No.
Will you drink water during the rest of this session?
No.
Will you paint your hair pink?
No. Time to stop.
Will you keep committed to your bright principles?
No. It's time to stop. I'm going to close the breakout rooms and see how we went. Thank you, Rita. Great questions.
Thank you.
Team No Researchers, what did you find out?
I found out a little part of me that still wants to please, and I could do so easily something nice for you.
Mm-hmm.
And also with some no's.
Wait, slow down a little. Slow down a little. I have a question. What did you notice that does in your system when you want to please? What happens in your body or in your energetic field?
when I want to please,
Mm-hmm.
it's, yeah, I'm giving my center away to your request.
And how does that
And I'm
express
not
in your
like, I don't take the time to really check in with myself if I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't take those like 3 seconds even to just check in with myself. I almost want to reply before I have checked in.
Mm-hmm. Is there a feeling or emotion in there? Do you feel something around that?
Yeah, that would be fear.
What's the fear about?
Fear of being unpolite, disliked, rude, arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that sounds like a doorway for healing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And another one was like, with certain questions, it was painful to say no when it was something that it was a big yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yeah, and I felt scared to say this no,
Mm-hmm.
as if this no almost did something to my reality that I didn't want it to do.
Yeah. Okay. Saying no when really you have a yes. Fear that that does something to your reality.
Yeah. Like energetically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
What's the yeah about, Millicent?
Yeah, I really noticed that too. That the things when I have a yes and I say a no, it also it makes me feel sad. Actually, I feel sad that I'm not being like it's yeah. There's something wrong. There's something off.
Mm-hmm. What else did you notice? Fiona, did you notice something?
I just felt like I was being a
I didn't
like
hear
I'm
that
just
part.
like I'm playing with you, give you the right answer. I'm just, I'm yeah.
So it felt what was it? Is it
It felt joyful and kind of like playful, I guess.
mm-hmm. You enjoyed the game of giving answers
game of
that aren't
no.
real. Uh-huh. Okay. Did you ever have a situation where you said no to something where you wanted to say yes to?
Yeah, there was, but I didn't have any, like, there wasn't any, I need to, I should say yes, I should say this is the right answer, I should say it. It was more like, no, I'm going to withhold that, and like, I don't want you to know that kind of, it was more like
Okay.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it
Yeah, I know this.
Go.
I know this in 2 ways in myself that happens. Like, just today I was invited again to go to this other training, the ETP, and I would love to go, and I said no. So like in me there is a yes, and yeah, it doesn't work for me to go now. So I say no to things that I actually have a yes for. And there is another part which is very cultural from like where I grew up in Portugal, which is this politeness. There is a game that happens like, would you like to have a cup of tea? And you go, no, and it's a bit like, oh, I should not bother. But there is this game where the person knows you're going to have the cup of tea, but you say no several times, and they still make it even though you said no already 5 times. and it happens in many situations. And yeah, so I know this from my past a lot, of saying no, not accepting an offer where I actually have a yes, to be polite. Like I should not be greedy, something like that. Should be modest.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I think,
It's actually, yeah, it's really cool to think about that, actually. I think I'm more prone to saying yes when I've got a no, but I noticed now that you're speaking, Rita, that I actually do say no when I've got a yes. And it's mostly to my own, like, hunger or thirst or tiredness or rest, that kind of thing.
Mm.
yeah, I noticed. Well, and one thing I noticed that's also part of the British culture is to say no, to be polite, and then you've got to say no 3 times, and then you can say yes. I noticed that when I was living in London. In fun, it was driving my German box crazy. My German upbringing is like, just say yes or no. And in this exercise, I realized when Rita, when you asked me questions where I knew they weren't true, because I would have a yes, I felt a slight fear of, oh, I'm lying. I'm lying because, like, a question like, will you drink water, or will you drink water in the session? It's like, of course I will. But saying no is like, oh, I'm lying, and then she will see me, I've lied. So there is a remnant of that I'm keen to explore more. Is that I cannot, in my box, it's lying is a really bad thing, so I cannot do that. And I'm not saying that lying is a good thing either. It's just having the capacity to play and say whatever I want to say, because it's what I want to do.
Just like some emotional fear that comes up.
Yeah, and I think it's got to do with, oh, they will see me lying. So it's not just I'm lying, it's also I will be witnessed in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, there's a beauty in being just as radical with the yeses, which I noticed earlier with all of you when you really gave me your yes fully and loud and clear. I was like, boom, wow, yes. So, well, first I want to know if there are any questions or any necessity from you where you're like, I don't understand that part of anger, or I would like to take something else out of this next 25 minutes max. Is there anything that you have a necessity right now? You're like, this is something that burns in me.
No.
Okay, will you give me your clear no's? If you have a no or yes. No. Didn't
Yeah,
hear you.
I don't know what to do with it, but I've got this thing about having anger as this energy that is like, it's more exhausting to hold anger back than it is to just let it be there throughout the day. And yeah, I don't know if I've got anything other than that. I just wanted to say that.
Okay, let's try it. I've got a really simple exercise about that. So take one of your hands in your fist into a fist, and the other one against it, and then use your force, the power, and push against each other. Push these fingers really hard, as you can, without hurting yourself. Just notice, take a screenshot of the amount of energy you're using now. Okay, so that is what you're doing. Okay, relax. That is what you're doing when you're going with your anger and you're suppressing your anger. It costs a lot of energy, right? And what happens? Does anything change? You get locked in, right?
No.
It's a deadlock. So now take the same amount of energy and you put your hands next to each other, your fists next to each other. And take the same amount of energy pushing. It's the same force. Notice what happens. Go into movement, right?
It's easy.
Yeah,
Let's resist.
less resistance.
Yeah.
And the amount of energy that you have putting it in the same direction is just amazing. I mean, it's real. It's real for your life. It's like this burning, yeah. It's like this burning fire. Now you're, instead of retaining the fire, you're learning to direct it so that it serves your life. And it makes space, as I said earlier, you're clear, no, you're clear, yes, make space for the next thing to pop up. It's like, no, I won't do that. And then, now I have time to read my book, or now I have time to go into the garden, or now I know I'd want to do whatever, or it makes space. Also when it's uncomfortable, when people around you might not like it. And that's step 2, and that's something to train in Rage Club, is to say a no and to stay there even if other people might not like it. To really practice that. And saying yes and no is just one part, it's just one element. Yeah, there's more to explore around what is your mechanism to keep your anger locked up like that. What is the reason? What is the basic decisions or the mechanism that you've come up to keep it like this rather than going like that? And which projects in your life need the fire of your anger to get going? And I'm curious to explore more also with you on my own edge of what is so specific about the feminine anger, the anger of women, where physically it comes from a place that is the seat of life. You know, that's where life comes from your womb. This rage and making space. We're going to make space for high intensity rage. I'll be holding space for you to stillate your anger if that's where you can go, and you can only go where you can go, but the space will be open for that. So that you can go to 100%.
During Rage Club.
During the Rage Club, not today. Yeah. So it'll take some time to prime your muscle, but also to, in each session, to practice 3 minutes of rage with no reason other than letting it rip, letting the anger in a safe container, just letting it be there and see what comes up, and freeing is like cleaning the pipes, training the muscle and cleaning the pipes, so that you don't even have to think about it in your everyday life. It's just a resource where you're like, no, yes, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm not doing, I'm getting up now, I'm sitting down now, I'm going to do this now, but why don't you do this? Because, I need you to do that. And it's like, it's not what I'm doing. I'm doing this. And from that place, you can start negotiating. You can start negotiating intimacy once you know where your boundary is. You can also use anger to make offers, to say the clarity of an offer. Say, I'm inviting you to this. I want us to, I don't know, dance now. I'll put the music on. Do you have any resistance? So to bring it into your everyday life wherever it is relevant for you, for wherever you are. And I can't think of a better place than in a group of women where the whole element of I need to look good for a man, whether that's relevant for you or not, or that's just not part of the game. And there are commonalities in women of the conditioning and of the physical experience of it. And just from the fact that we've got shit to do, we've got really big jobs on our bench coming. Some already have, some maybe don't know quite yet what it is, but I Gaia, the earth, needs us to really stand up and be bold and become conscious assholes in terms of doing what it takes, because we need to do what we need to do and not have the nice girl, good girl come in the way of that. I'm sitting with the question of what next. So I'm free flowing with you into whatever is necessary, and I'm like, part of me wants to hear what is it that where you're stuck or where your projects are. Maybe they are on your bench, or maybe you don't know what your project is. I would like to hear from you, or maybe, yeah, that would something I would love to hear from you. We have a round of sharing of that. Are you willing to share that with us?
Yes.
Yes. Go, Millicent.
I was and hearing you speak, it's like I checked into this space just now about feeling angry about how I spend my energy, like spend my attention and my time, and I and like learning to feel that anger. It's like it's scary, because it means that I might end up completely changing how I set up my life. And the projects that I want to be doing are huge. And it's kind of safe to be a lifeguard at a pool and do what I'm told. Yeah.
What are the projects that are huge that you want to be doing?
I want to be writing, and I want to be holding space for people to like reconnect with their being, and I want to be I got a real strong idea to make a magazine for Radically Alive, like a physical in paper magazine, and I just want to go and figuring out how to do these things to really get it accessible.
Yay, I'm celebrating these big projects. Go.
Yeah.
What about you other wahine? Go, Fiona. You've already got it in your... Fiona already inhaled to speak, and she's waiting whether you are going to speak first, but you don't have to. You could just jump in. Go.
There's so much that I don't know where to start.
Well, see, just pull out the first worm and tell us one thing about you.
Okay, what I'm in the middle of right now is getting hot water on at my house. So moving everything out of what is going to be my bathroom and putting it into my storage container so that I can get my bathroom finished and actually have hot water, because I haven't had hot water in like months. Or like actually years. Like I've had gas hot water, but it broke. And trying to get rid of all the mice out of my house, like that's a big project right now. But other than that, work-wise, I have 2 businesses, and I'm just at the start of setting up my cacao and chocolate making business. And so that also includes things like rongoa chocolate and and a whole bunch of other ideas that I've got around that. And so I've been I'm taking steps towards that, and then I have another business that's in zero waste management, which I'm in this real shift where I'm ready to let things go and move on, and move towards what I really want to be doing, which is my passion of making chocolate. So yeah, I don't feel stuck in any of those things. I feel like I'm just in this space where it's right now I'm in this really slow day to day, having to do this 3-dimensional slow program shift, physically doing the shifting and moving to make space for the new stuff to come in.
Yeah, thank you. So really practical stuff on your bench. Where anger is really a sort of resource to go that's happening, and at the same time not burning out. Yeah.
24 hours, 48 hours, how I've been using that, how I'm like, okay, I need to get this done. Okay, I'm just gonna get in there and do it. So like I just, it's quite timely and potent. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. How about you, Rita? What's knocking on your door?
I am at the moment exploring. So it's my project, and it's also where I am stuck at the same time, and I'm unstucking. It is related to not putting up with stuff I don't want to put up with. This is what I'm exploring at the moment, and yeah, I need to have my anger online to act, and what I'm noticing is that I need to dance a lot with my fear, and I need to be very connected to my fear too, because doing this, it's really scary for me, and to not put up with stuff I don't want to put up with, and not and transform spaces, also not only closing spaces or killing spaces, but also there is this new exploration of, okay, I can just stop a space and move away, and how can I, instead of moving away or just ending a space, how can I transform the space into something I want to be part of? This and this is scary for me. So what I'm finding is the projects or the explorations I am with at the moment, I'm shit scared. Yeah, and I need a lot more anger to keep going. Yeah. And the other topic that's very alive is this topic that I actually explored with you, Julia, about holding, how do I hold space for my family, for my child, for my community, and also live my own passions, my purpose, or feed my soul food. How do I hold space? So I'm using my anger a lot to not go into overwhelm also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Great. Big jobs on your bench then too.
Yeah.
For me, it's mainly related to keep creating what I love creating. These Edgecast episodes, it's just like, I love it. And allowing the creative flow to come out of there and for it to become something I don't even know yet. Like for it to become a shape, a form, a format that really keeps feeding the field, but feeding also me as I create content and publish it. And I'm at a stage where I need to set up the technical stuff for that, and like, whoa, how do I do that? And at the same time, also allowing myself to be even more bold, to be bolder, to be ever more bold with my space holding, with really staying at my edge and not going back into, well, let's be comfortable here. So to stay at the edge and be even more bold. That's my edge that I will need my anger for. And what you say really matters to me also, Rita, is the relationship of anger and fear.
Mm.
The fear often sits on top of the anger, and once you have a bit more access more to anger, then you can feel more fear. So it's like a ping pong a bit. I've experienced it a bit like ping pong. So there's anger and fear. So I make a bit more space for anger, so the fear is not so much on top of the anger. But then I can feel more fear, so the fear becomes bigger. And so it's a bit of a like that, but not really like, it's more opening up like a petal of a flower. It goes, and then the beauty of both can be there, and they actually complement each other. Fear is so useful in energy and information to know, to have clarity, to have information about where do I want to act next, or where do I need to put my attention, and then with the anger go into action. Okay, so let's do one more round of exercises, because I see a world where women don't only go like, no, yes, stop, no, stop, but they also go, yes, with a hell yes. So someone asks you tomorrow, are you going to come for a walk on the beach with me? And you say, hell yes. And you blow them away with your yes. Bring this aliveness to the world. So we're going to try, no, not try, we're going to do an exercise of saying yes. So now we're going to do the similar thing. So one person asks a question and you say this hell yes quality. You don't have to say hell, but you say yes. Like really landing the yes, and you don't have to make your eyes big like I just did. So just landing it with the same intensity as you landed the no, with the same clarity. And then, so do that regardless what they ask you. So you might be lying. You might be not saying what really is. That's for 1 minute. And then in the second minute, you go whatever answer comes immediately, and let yourself be surprised. You go, yes, no, no, yes, whatever the answer is to the question. And so it will be 1 minute each. Let's do ping pong. So 1 minute just saying yes, then the other one says yes, and then 1 minute saying yes or no, whatever comes, and then the other one says yes or no. And I'll write a little reminder into the chat. I create. Okay, go. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Yes is the answer. Go.
Yes.
Are you sure that you want to go first?
Yes.
Do you love chickens?
Yes.
Do you love rubbish?
Yes.
Give me the hell yes.
Hell yes.
Thank you. Do you enjoy the forest?
Yes.
Do you like cold water?
Yes.
Do you want to meet for a coffee?
Yes.
Do you Do you hate plastic?
Yes.
Do you love flying with an airplane?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. And we swap over. So you ask me questions. Go.
Do you have children?
Yes.
Are you in New Zealand?
Yes.
Do you like long walks on the beach?
Yes.
Do you like looking at the sunset?
Yes.
Do you like collecting rocks?
Yes.
Do you like swimming in the river?
Yes.
Do you do you wear slippers?
Yes.
Do you yoga?
Hell yes.
Will you breathe today?
Yes.
Will you allow your anger to shift your energy today?
Yes.
Will you eat lunch?
Yes. Thank you. And we swap. So now you go. I'll just write one message into the group before that. Okay. And start. I ask you, do you like rainbows?
Yes.
Will you paint my house for me?
No.
Will you get up now and spin around your axis?
No.
Do you want to sleep in tomorrow?
Yes.
Do you enjoy the power of your anger?
Yes. Actually, yes.
Do you feel scared of your anger?
No.
Do you feel angry right now?
No.
Do you have a sister?
Yes.
Do you have a brother?
Yes.
Do you love your family?
I don't know
Whichever
if I
comes
can
first. Whichever. Okay, maybe that's too unspecific. Do you love your sister?
honestly, these are very hard questions for me right now.
So, okay. And what is your, so if it's not from your head, maybe it doesn't help that it's recorded. Okay, I'm going to do another question. Do you like the color red?
Yes.
Do you love yourself?
Yes.
Thank you. And we swap.
Right.
Okay, just
is it Friday?
yes.
Have you been for a walk today?
Yes.
Did you listen to music?
Yes.
Did you dance?
No.
Did you want to dance?
No.
Have you written your to-do list today?
No.
Have you been drinking water today?
Yes. Thank you.
Uh,
That's enough. We'll go out of this room and see you in the main session. Whoa. Okay, hello. Looks like there's Millicent. Thank you, women, for your radical experimenting and being on this journey. I feel glad I'm all warm now. How, let's throw one word into the space to close it. What are you taking away? Just one word.
Clarity.
Empowerment.
Joy of
Nice.
life. Joy of life. It's 3 words, but I said them quickly then. It sounds like one. And by the way, I make the rules of my own life, don't you?
Yes.
Yes! Go! Give us one last yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes. Okay, then go blow away the world with your yeses and nos. And I know already that Rita and Millicent, you're in for the Rage Club. And if you have any questions, Fee, please reach out. Or I can also stay a bit longer. And yeah, thank you for being here. Stop the recording.
Yeah, thank you.